The following is a special presentation of Digital Horizons, the leader in sports highlights entertainment.
We are going to start Backstage to benefit the new and here's where you participate. Everybody count down. We will start at 10 and when we hit 0, it's time for IWC in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, here we go!
IWC makes history on the road. For the first time in the 10-year history of the organization, we're out of the state of Pennsylvania.
That's right, Joe. This is Justin Plummer here. We are in Newell, West Virginia.
That's right, I am Joe Dombrowski, joined by Justin Plummer as we're in Newell, West Virginia, with a benefit for the local fire department for Mountain State Madness. For 10 years, IWC has had the reputation as the best wrestling promotion in Western Pennsylvania. Tonight we branch out and invade West Virginia as well. And what a great athlete to start the action out with. Rock and roll Mike Seidel, the brother of WWE superstar Evan Bourne, formerly known here in IWC as Matt Seidel. And he is a high-octane, adrenaline-fueled, high-flying young athlete. And it's rock and roll against the frontman, Logan Shulo, on his way around the ring. Calls himself the frontman. He's without his trusty mic stand this evening, but uses his rock and roll musical background and the influences of some of his heroes and idols from childhood to help with his persona and confidence in the ring. And ever since Logan Shulo morphed into the frontman a couple of years back, we've seen him at a whole new level, and his win percentage has certainly improved.
Joe, we have the frontman versus rock and roll. Honky Tonk Man, eat your heart out. This is a little bit more hardcore than what he may be used to.
Well, certainly it's a new era, new athletes, new philosophy in the International Wrestling Cartel. Bell sounds by referee Drew Taylor to start this matchup out. Seidel and Shulo. Shulo obviously has a noticeable size advantage over Seidel. Shulo probably about 6'3" or so. But Seidel can certainly fly, can certainly move better than almost anybody on the IWC roster.
Now, Joe, Logan Shulo's been having quite the stiff competition lately. He's found himself in mixes that have been more difficult than most. He's had flirted with the Founding Fathers. He's been with them. He's been against them. Now he finds himself against this outsider, this up-and-comer, Mike Seidel. How do you think he's going to fare here?
Well, there's a quick pinning combination, 1 and no. Well, Shulo may have an unofficial hometown advantage, but I don't think he's going to have the crowd advantage based on the way he's alienated himself from so many of the IWC fans. You mentioned the relationship with the Founding Fathers, and it almost seems somewhat that the Founding Fathers were using and manipulating Shulo to get their dirty work done without ever offering him an official opportunity into the group. And Seidel with a little bit of a "We will rock you" chant.
He is rock and roll.
What do you make of those tattoos on Mr. Seidel?
You know what? Those are very creative. I might have to go out and get some myself after this.
Well, let's not get crazy now. Head scissors takeover by Seidel. Drop kick. Seidel may be in competition with Bobby Beverly for the most unusual tattoos in the building right now.
Joe, I didn't drive all the way to West Virginia not to get crazy. And the way this pace is keeping up.
Well, Seidel gets crazy, just launches himself over the top rope with reckless abandon. That pescado to the outside. And as you mentioned so many times, Mr. Plummer, this floor is not protected in the least.
No, that is solid tile. I've slipped and fell a few times, my clumsy self, and it's taken me weeks to recover. Something like that, a normal man cannot just get up and do what these guys are doing.
Seidel able to use the ring as an offensive weapon, swing through and connect with the legs, right to the side of Logan Shulo's body. Rolling Shulo back, and a smart move by Seidel. Knows he can't pin his man on the outside. Goes for the lateral press, but barely a count of 2. Shulo obviously with more upper body mass, and it's going to take a lot for Seidel to hold Shulo down. Shulo has so much power compared to Seidel. Could be relatively more simple taking out of a potential fall. And there you see the power on display.
Now, a lot of people don't know this, Joe, but on the side, Logan Shulo is a personal trainer. He spends a lot of time at the gym, and you can tell by his physique and by moves like that, where he just displays sheer power without even grimacing.
I'll tell you, every time I see Logan Shulo, he's in better shape than our last event. And that's testament to him, testament to his dedication. Here's a member of the IWC roster, Seidel, sent for the ride hard into the corner. A little bit of posturing there. Rock and roll type influence, follow through, however connected. When Shulo's in that frame of mind, when he's got that focus, he may be unbeatable, as we have a count of 1.
Well, yeah, he's drawing on his inspirations, he's drawing on his childhood idols. That'll get your adrenaline pumping, that'll get it flowing, and sometimes you just completely tune out. And that appears to be what he was doing there for a moment. He may have snapped out of it there with that kick to the chest.
Yeah, Seidel forced him to snap out of it for sure. Seidel in a precarious position. How can he battle that drop face first? And you see Seidel connected hard on the ribs as well. Could have had all the wind knocked out of him.
This is, again, just brute force by Logan Shulo. Nothing fancy, nothing too technical. He's just pounding his man into the ground.
Straight German suplex with a bridge. Nicely done for 2. Beautiful form by Shulo. We've seen Shulo transmit the force and the influence of the likes of Jimi Hendrix in the past. A little bit of Woodstock action, but will it turn disastrous here tonight? Will it be more like Altamont for Logan Shulo before we're done? Altamont Music Festival. Do your research. Come on. Where were you 40 years ago? Seidel with a cover.
That was just a glimmer, Joe.
Clothesline. Glimmer maybe Mike Seidel's hopes of winning this contest after Shulo connects with a clothesline. Sends Seidel right down the back of his head. You can see Seidel just inching, reaching for a rope, for anything to get himself back into this contest.
Now more boots to gut, more of that brute force. Again, nothing technical, but he's relentless. And that is what's giving him the upper hand. He's not giving him a moment to breathe. He is just pounding him into the ground.
I'll tell you what, Shulo's doing a great job of dictating the pace, slowing it down to his own preference. Seidel tried to go for that crucifix pinfall, however. Shulo had it scouted.
This could be it.
Oh! Tell with a backbreaker. And you can see the bend in the torque on the back of Seidel as Shulo hangs on. Does not release the body of Seidel. Now buries the knee first into the small of the back and now right into the side. Right into that intercostal cartilage. Just burying it into Seidel, preventing him from fully breathing.
And right to those tattoos.
Oh, not the tattoos.
Hopefully they're not fresh.
No, certainly not. Shulo. Notice he was able to cut off Seidel as soon as Seidel got back to a vertical base.
Well, that's the thing. You mentioned the slower pace, which he is slowing it down.
And Seidel's got him this time.
But he was still being relentless and not giving him a break.
Seidel's got a hit and run. Rock and roll, baby. Drop kick back to the corner. Now Seidel gets ahead of steam.
Oh.
Up with a knee strike right to the side of the jaw.
I thought it was too little too late, but he might be out right now.
It's hit and run. Shulo being approached from all sides. The tornado DDT, the hook in the leg, near fall. Only 2, says referee Drew Taylor.
And Shulo had to barely be holding on to consciousness at that point. Able to kick out at the 2. Nearly a fall.
Reversal center ring. Shulo able to elevate Seidel such as earlier, but the counter.
A Matrix-like move.
First the Hurricane Rana, then the Matrix, the Enziguri. Shulo's dazed. Could it be out? No, near fall.
He's not going to give up, Joe. He's holding on somehow. Now, this is where the size advantage, the strength advantage is coming in, because maybe a heavier man that dazed, he wouldn't be able to kick out and push him off.
Ouch!
Wow.
You ever do that on accident, Plumber?
Well, not yet, thank God.
And Shulo doesn't just hit him with a boot, but just stomps Seidel down to the canvas. And you see, this is where high risk does not pay off. May have went to the well once too often, but counter from behind. Sunset flip, Seidel has his shoulders shut. Seidel got it! Beautifully done!
all over the front man, Joe, in a clash of the rock and rollers, a clash of the musicians, if you will. An upset, so to speak, as IWC's own Logan Shulo goes down.
One may call it a mild upset, but following the career of this young kid, Mike Seidel, how much...
Today, you know that we have the one night only, very special director of wrestling operations. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome to the ring for one night only, the director of wrestling operations, the billion-dollar man, Chest Flexer.
Well, I can't say I'm happy about the fact that Chest Flexer is my boss for the evening. He's already asked me to partake in some very uncharacteristic activities that I have bluntly refused to. The alleged self-proclaimed billion-dollar man, although I don't think he can even spell $1 billion. Now the question is, exactly what in the world? Really? I was about to ask what in the world Chest Flexer's going to do with the power here tonight, but now my question is, what in the hell is Chest Flexer with? She's wearing what looks like one of his get-ups and looks better than he does. And he's got the IWC champion, Big League John McChesney, out here as well. Big League to defend against Venis later tonight.
Everybody knows who I am. I'm the billion-dollar man, Chest Flexer. I've got posters. I've got t-shirts. And I love But what we're doing here is I came around a couple days ago. I don't want to spend a little money. I was looking for a new vacation home. So I was looking at land all the way down by the casino, racetrack, all the way past here. And the only little piece of property I found is right next to the river.
Big Bully Busick's supposed to be the referee in the featured title matchup with McChesney and Venis.
Because you don't have a referee now, I decided to make myself the referee for you and my team.
That's not fair.
And in case you don't know who this is, he's the IWC World Heavyweight Champion, Big League John McChesney.
Bubba a step ahead of the game again. Gotta wonder what the new owner, Sterling James Keenan, will think.
It's quite obvious that I'm by far the best dressed person in this house tonight. It is obvious that I am the best looking person in this house tonight. And judging by YouTube videos like Pop, Town, Championship Pro, I'm the only real champion in the building tonight.
we've seen Val here in IWC before. These remarks will not go unanswered. The Big Balboski, former Intercontinental and European Champion in World Wrestling Entertainment, one of the most knowledgeable and well-traveled veterans in professional wrestling today. A man who's headlined all over North America, including extensively down in Mexico, Canada, Japan, and really all over the free world. He won the main event of the Night of Legends earlier this year when he pinned Rhett Titus. And now he earns a shot at the IWC champion, Big League in the Big Balboski later tonight. But now we hear from Val Venis. He's hiding behind Flexor. Give me a break. Yeah, he's a zero, all right. I don't think many people claim that. Fans calling Big League minor league. Well, Val has a extensive film career. Don't think McChesney's diatribe did much to change anyone's opinions.
And when I got here to this building, and I looked at the car, and I saw that I was going to be fighting for the IWC World Heavyweight Championship title. And they want to put it right here, right now. Gold is in my blood. There's nothing in that voice loves more than gold, except hot women like that. Just think about Broski. He garnered a hell of a career with all the successes that I've achieved in 22 years of professional wrestling. You failed to recognize the fact that even before WWE, I was a 7-time WWC television champion in Puerto Rico. I was the Universal Heavyweight Champion in CMLL, Mexico City.
Very prestigious title south of the border.
Some of the very best professional wrestlers, all Japan Pro Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling and all before my successors in WWE. My attorneys, he's not dressed to be whatever he is. But he might have a situation when he goes, I'm assuming it's a black and white striped shirt. When he goes in black and white striped shirt, you are going to be staring dead square into the eyes of a man who enters into this room with nothing less on his mind than absolute victory. I'm going to share with you right here, right now, the bold ingredients to success that the big Broski has used his entire career. Desire. Well, I know, you look in my eyes, you see a desire to want that time. Desire. Strength. You know that in shadow of light, I have the strength to endure the challenge of acquiring that title. Third ingredient is success, attitude. You know I have the right attitude to become the IWC World Heavyweight Champion. And fourth ingredient is success, commitment. From the time the opening bell rings to the time your shoulders are pinned to the mat at pound 3, I am committed to nothing more than wrapping that title around this waist. Because tomorrow morning, when you wake up, just like every single morning you woke up in the past, look yourself and swear in the mirror, you're gonna wish that you were me.
John McChesney may think all of West Virginia wants to be like him, but in the words of Val Venis, it'll be McChesney who wants to be the Big Valboski. By the end of the night, the fate of the IWC Championship will be decided, and one of our big main events here this evening. What a trump card thrown with Chest Flexor being named the referee in place of Big Bully Music. Will it be enough to keep the title in the Big League Founding Father camp? Or will Val Venis throw a major monkey wrench and capture the IWC Championship this evening? We will find out as Mountain State Madness continues. Beverly, Nickie Valentino call themselves the All-Nighters, also known in some circles as Sex Appeal, and certainly each name is very fitting. They certainly feel they have a lot of sex appeal. They certainly feel they're the best looking and most talented athletes here in IWC or anywhere else. In the obnoxious white collared sleeveless shirt, it is late night Nickie Valentino. Bringing up the rear in the even more obnoxious sunglasses is indeed the alleged master of the thrust, Bobby Beverly. We've seen these men team frequently over the past couple of years in a variety of promotions in and around Pennsylvania and Ohio. And they'll be tested this evening by a tag team we have not seen before, sight unseen. They call themselves Blue Collar Slaughter, Matt Sagaris and Bronco McBride. It's Sagaris in the front, it's McBride behind him, and these guys, well, it seems in their lives they've amassed a reputation as a bit of a bully. However, here in their, well, they're here amongst their people. Good old boys just like to have fun, have a good time, drink their beer, drive their pickup truck, and listen to their music. That's what the Blue Collar Slaughter are all about. Certainly got to add to that list. Most importantly, they love to fight. They love to compete. And this is the debut of in IWC of Blue Collar Slaughter. We've never seen them in action before. We've seen Beverly and Valentino, most notably, not too long ago, at our Road to Super Indy event, where they had a great showing against the tag team from CZW. Official sound for the bell, and we are underway with tag team competition. It's Bobby Beverly starting the matchup off with Matt Sagaris. Certainly a very interesting hairstyle by Sagaris and an interesting gyration by Mr. Beverly, who certainly believes he's the best looking, and I think that is up heavily to debate. There you see the power of Sagaris. Sagaris, he's like a Dick Murdoch. He doesn't have that bodybuilder physique. He's not lean and tanned, but man, does he have power behind him. I think Beverly was a bit caught off guard. Obviously, a little calisthenics, push-ups. I don't think Blue Collar Slaughter engage in many high-priced gymnasium memberships and premium workout sessions, but you know they're working hard on the farm in the country. You know they built out a lot of great tendon strength. And Beverly, the southpaw, however, the more experienced of the two, taking over on Sagaris. Again, we mentioned his very first matchup here in IWC, though he is able to turn the tables. And if Beverly and Valentino come into this contest a bit too cocky, a bit too conceited, they could very easily get caught off guard, because Blue Collar Slaughter are not here via accident, not in the least. They've impressed somebody, they have some great credentials, and tag into Bronco McBride. Series of double team elbows into the lateral press for only one, however. And now McBride intelligently going straight to the arm of Valentino to punish the man who is known as Late Night. A lot of great Broncos have come through the industry over the years in history. Of course, the legendary Bronco Nagurski, star in wrestling as well as football. And who could forget the legendary referee from Texas, Bronco Lubitsch? Perhaps Bronco McBride can exceed all of those prior reputations, but certainly a long way to go on that count. Great Manhattan drop, however, by McBride. Follow through. Standard atomic drop. Valentino collides with Beverly, and everybody's dazed. Watch McBride. Went to quicken the tempo, and the veteran instincts of Beverly come out to play. Beverly with the left hand and sends McBride back into the ring, into the waiting arms of Nickie Valentino. And Blue Collar Slaughter don't seem quite as refined as the one-nighters / sex appeal. Quite obviously, they can catch you off guard. They're a wild couple of good old boys. And it's within the nature of Beverly and Valentino to want to ground this tag team and keep them within their grasp. You don't want these two scrappers to get too much momentum and too much breathing room. There's a knife edge by Valentino. And Beverly going for flesh on flesh. Right on the chest cavity. Snapmare takeover. And you see again that reverse chin lock. Putting a lot of pressure right on where the ramus of the mandible articulates with the mandibular fossa of the temporal bone. McBride was able to get up to the vertical base, but got taken down a moment later by Mr. Beverly. Cover 2 and no. Beverly, the left hand. And spitting in the face of Mr. Sagaris. McBride sent back into the corner, and the tag is in. Nickie Valentino, the legal man. McBride gets both feet up, however. Tag into Sagaris, who unloads on both members of the one-nighters. Down goes Beverly, down goes Valentino. Duck of the clothesline, and Sagaris using that power, that tendon strength to the spine buster for 2. Duck of the clothesline, and Beverly sends one into the other in a thrust kick. Takes McBride down. Reversal of the whip. Beverly gets the foot up. Valentino attempting a double team. Drop kick into the face plant. Nice cohesion by the more experienced tandem, and Valentino got a long 2 count. Went for the kick again, almost a huge miscommunication. McBride sends Valentino into his partner. The blue collar boys have a chance. Head scissors. Into. Sit out fireman's carry bomb. Cover. They did it. What a win. What a major win by Blue Collar Slaughter over a very established tag team. Matt Sagaris, Bronco McBride have their hands raised in victory in their very first professional matchup. That is a huge, huge deal. I think we'll be seeing a lot more Blue Collar Slaughter in the near future in IWC. In front of their hometown boys, in front of their West Virginia brethren. Blue Collar Slaughter are indeed victorious here in tag team action. Ladies and gentlemen, Dalton Castle on his way into the ring right now. A very charismatic young individual. Calls himself the Party Peacock and the Charismatic Milkshake. And it seems though that, well, from what I can understand in my research, his overbearing personality kind of rubs people the wrong way, no pun intended here.
Well, I don't see why it would. I mean, he's an entertainer. He's doing what he's here to do. And personally, call me weird, but I'm enjoying it so far.
I just may later on. flamboyant pink trunks. Great to see you rejoining us here, Mr. Plummer. I understand you'll be in and out all night doing some investigative reporting behind the scenes as well.
That's true. Starting with Dalton Castle, following this match, you're going to be headed backstage, interviewing some of your favorite IWC superstars, and you can check out those interviews exclusively on IWC.com, IWCWrestling.com later on this week.
Or at any point, since this isn't live, the DVD will be out, you can just go whenever you want. What about Tyler Stone in Super Indy 10, Plummer? He didn't exactly make it very far, but the fact that he was able to go toe-to-toe with some of the best competition in the world today speaks volumes.
I agree, Joe, and I was just going to say the same thing. The fact that he was there so young, so early on in his career, is a testament to the work that this man's put in to take major steps already in his career. And call me biased, and I try not to be, but I have a soft spot for this guy. He's from my hometown of Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, and it's big news in Elizabeth. You'll see a lot of our shows at court time. He's bringing out more and more fans each week, and the way he's climbing the ladder is making big news in our hometown, Joe.
Well, that's great to see. Tyler Stone slowly building and building his legacy, his fan base.
You go to the grocery store, you go to the gas station, you go to the barber shop. Yes, we still have barber shops in Elizabeth. This is all you hear about now. Any sports fan, any entertainment fan, this is what they are talking about.
Tyler Stone's reputation comes as a bare-knuckle fighter in some of the underground fight clubs around Elizabeth, PA, and that aggression and certainly that pain threshold as well helps Tyler Stone in between those ropes.
Yes, that's where he developed his relationship with that chain you always see him lugging around. He just can't seem to let that one go. It's just part of his history. It's part of him now.
Hey, a little self-defense never hurt anybody. It's interesting to see how he will defend himself against Mr. Dalton Castle.
And it looks like the fans are irritated with him already.
Well, it's just something about this guy's personality. He thinks so highly of himself. He thinks he's so great and so good-looking and so charismatic and entertaining that he just rubs you the wrong way. And let's give the devil his due. He's got a lot of reason to think that. He's very well put together. He's amazingly athletic. He's branching out more and more in his wrestling career. He has an amateur wrestling background in the NCAA.
4 years.
Exactly. So Castle is a very accomplished young athletic specimen. Problem is, I think he's a little bit too cognizant of that fact.
Yeah, and he does, but he shows it through humor, which I think is better than coming out here like some of these other guys that you see with their brash arrogance, their disregard, their insults to the fan. At least he's doing it through what some may say humor, others may see as annoyance.
I think humor's a little bit subjective, don't you think? I think the Castle thinks it's hilarious right now, but Tyler Stone may take objection to that.
And there it is, the peacock.
The peacock.
Oh, and that's what Tyler Stone thinks of the peacock.
I overheard him telling you something about a peacock being the most intimidating and dangerous animal in the food chain.
Well, apparently it's the closest relative to the velociraptor for those dinosaur fans out there, and so that's why he adopted the moniker.
Those dinosaur fans out there.
I know. They're all buying the DVDs, Joe.
I can go a lot of ways with that line, but I don't think I will. Up and over with a leapfrog, and Stone attempts to elevate the larger Castle. Standing side switch on the go behind, and Castle, great control of his own body to put on the brakes, but caught in the arm drag. I think Tyler Stone fits the mold of a lot of guys that have come up through the IWC's training schools over the years. Guys like Shiima, Xion, Jason, Gory, the Gambinos, that are really wise beyond their years, that have only been around for, even in their formative years, their first 1 to 2 years in the business, they really start to make an impact against some high-level competition.
Yeah, that's exactly what Tyler Stone's doing here. Now, Dalton Castle's trying to follow in Tyler Stone's footsteps, so to speak, even though there aren't many of those yet. He's debuting here tonight. He's trying to make a mark for himself as well. I think with a victory, we may be seeing a lot more of him. With a loss, who knows, he may fade.
And it's important to note that Castle, as we see miscommunication where he accidentally chops that solid steel ring post, Castle is more experienced than Stone, even though this is his IWC debut.
Yeah, he's looking to make a mark here. But now that he has that potentially broken hand, we'll see how he fares.
Low bridge there, as it were, caught Tyler Stone coming in. Dalton based his career, I believe, in the upstate New York area. He was trained by by Jimmy Olsen, who may be best known to IWC fans as the former and still occasional tag team partner of former WWE star and occasional IWC star Colin Delaney. Supposed brother, I should say. They say they're twins, but I don't really see it.
You know, you got to look closely.
And they say their last name's Olsen, and it's a weird family.
Did you check Facebook for their relationship?
Not quite. Crucifix attempt here. Theme of the night so far, 2-0. Mr. Plummer, what's the atmosphere in the locker room like with chest flexor in charge calling the shots?
Unique, if I can sum it up in one word.
It works.
It's very divided back there right now. People are trying to steer clear because they really don't know what to expect if you cross them, and I can't blame them. I mean, just being backstage myself, you just want to stay away from the guy because you don't know what he's going to do.
Oh, it seems like he's going on a huge power trip as we have a cover by Castle, lax cover if I might add. He's already gone on a huge power trip firing Big Bully Busick, and he's one of the West Virginia natives that we were really most looking forward to seeing on the event here tonight, especially refereeing that championship matchup and keeping things on the up and up one-on-one, but nothing doing here tonight anymore. Chest flexor's calling the shots, and he's the referee.
He's not making many friends here tonight in West Virginia. They were really looking forward to that, and he's just robbed them. Again, Bubba the Bulldog indirectly raining on the fans' parade, so to speak.
That's right, Flexor, another guy who's being manipulated by the Founding Fathers to do their bidding. Bubba didn't want to come here tonight at all, didn't want to deal with the politics and the fallout of Sterling James Keenan being named IWC owner, and what a bombshell that was a few weeks ago.
You want to talk about jaws hitting the floor? I heard a collective slap as everybody's jaws dropped, their tongues rolled down. It was almost like a cartoon scene.
Now notice, Tyler, not to cut you off, I apologize, but Tyler Stone hesitated. Dalton was able to catch himself on the apron. Stone didn't know what to do with him, and Dalton came back with a punch right to the face, but he missed the follow-through, missed the splash, and now Tyler Stone has new life once again. But yeah, things are crazy. The balance of power here. At first it was just Chuck Roberts and Bubba the Bulldog, but now you've got not just the Founding Fathers, not just the young lions like Facade, Gory, and Shiima, but also Sterling James Keenan thrown in the mix as well. This keeps getting more and more convoluted as time goes on. Hopefully it comes to a head in our next DVD release, Cage Fury 2011.
Yeah, nobody's really safe, Joe. I mean, you got to have eyes in the back of your head around here these days.
Cover two, no.
Close call. You got to have eyes in the back of your head because one wrong move to the wrong guy, you're gone. You're out of here. Yeah. I mean, it's dangerous. Friend, foe.
Well, you don't know who to trust. You don't know who to follow. You don't know who has power. You don't know who to listen to. Because you get Chuck Roberts, formerly, now Sterling James Keenan, as the owner of IWC. You know Chuck Roberts is consulting with Sterling. You know they have a relationship together for some reason, business-wise. You know Bubba the Bulldog, he's the director of in-ring operations. He's not the owner, but he has just as much power, only on a different level. And then you have Denny Gregory, the most decorated champion in history. He's right in Bubba the Bulldog's ear. And he used to be best friends with Chuck. He knows all Chuck's secrets. It's just so convoluted. It's such a balance. We may never get a conclusive ending.
No, you're not. And with guys switching sides left and right, such as Hentai, you don't know who to trust back there.
I'm so disappointed in him. He threw away his own legacy. Bottom line. Synonymous with Super Indy, synonymous with what Super Indy's about. And that's a big reason he's not the current champion. Dalton drops Tyler head and face first. Nicely done, one-man flapjack style, and he got the win.
What a debut. Dalton Castle, what a debut. Joe, I'm going to head backstage. I'm going to try to get some words with him. Like I said, check out IWCWrestling.com in the coming weeks. Hopefully I'll have something up there for you.
He has the goods, he has the ability, he has the charisma, but he also has the personality that maybe rubs you a little bit wrong way, but I'll tell you what, he's got the in-ring ability and the athleticism to back it up big time. Tyler Stone, as we mentioned, has been in some of the most competitive matches in his life over the past couple months. He's been on a high point, but Dalton Castle a little bit better here tonight. Plenty more to come. Mountain State Madness continues. A lot of exclusive interviews coming your way as well, and a lot of big-time action. Can't wait to see what they're going to gloat about and talk about, but you know what? Things weren't exactly in their control throughout Super Indy. They expected to leave IWC Super Indy 10 with all the championships, IWC title, Super Indy title, and the tag championships. And while they may have been able to eke by Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli, the Kings of Wrestling, who had the reputation of the best team in the business. They were not able to follow through with the Super Indy Championship, and they were not able to have full control of IWC like Bubba the Bulldog wanted from Chuck Roberts. Because right before that match, Chuck sold his power. He sold the ownership of the company to former IWC champion SJK Sterling James Keenan. The founding fathers have been rocked, but they are not unbreakable. They are not broken. Joined now officially by Classic Ken Cole, and now we unfortunately have to go up to the Founding Fathers. Can you believe the gall of these guys?
Listen to what they got to say, Joe.
Let's hear from the Super Indy Trader, the guy that threw away his legacy. You sold out. Anybody can do it. Hentai is the man to get the job done. And now, oh, the boss. Chest flexor.
Now it looks like we're going back to Danny.
All right, to tonight's business of the day. A little third ball town that has no rules and regulations. So Marshall has and just the middle, you decide to took Robert's run. They have to face a problem from the suit. But this ain't gonna be any radio in a row. You see, the Logan told me, he said I can make this match, and nobody you got.
3-on-2 and no disqualifications. They keep stacking the deck. You get what?
Sounds fair to me, Joe.
How is that fair?
Listen to what the boss has to say.
Yeah, the boss. Okay, now you're getting ridiculous. Pretty easy to be manipulated for a boss, don't you think?
Well, he respects the founding fathers, like you should.
So to have here now, just another bring out Gambino.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got a lot of respect for the Founding Fathers, the groundwork they laid here in IWC, but the bottom line is, each and every one of the men in this ring, except for Hentai, throw in Dean Radford and Bubba while you're at it, they left IWC at some point. They had other interests, they had other obligations. They were gone for a period of years, but when they came back, they wanted their spots handed to them when some of our younger athletes stepped up and filled that void. Whoa! Chuck Roberts is here.
He has nothing to do with the company anymore.
Hold on a second, wait a second. Yeah! Founding Fathers, huh? IWC, yes, everybody! Listen, boys, here's the deal. I realized last month they entered the same company. I sold it. I sold it to Swirling James Keenan. But what you guys certainly don't realize is before I sold the company, I signed a contract to bring IWC right here to Northern West Virginia.
Chuck's still in charge of this event. That's the local promoter. He's got say-so as well, more so than Flexer.
That second president's revenue featured guts. Venis featured guts. The two biggest pains of my butt. And you gotta understand, you're not the way Hentai is a little pain in my butt. And you guys, so here's the thing. When I signed that contract, Billy asked me one question, said, Chuck, I remember that before, I know you're gonna be in charge, I know you're gonna be the matches. Can I make one match? I said, Billy, you're taking a sacrifice, you're doing this, you can't make one match. Well, I know you're gonna be in control of the contraction, my friend. This man makes to make one match. And I'm going back talking to Billy, he's listening to Chuck. What about hardcore? What about hardcore? Steel cage, wait a minute. And Billy says, Chuck, wait a minute, I got an idea. So Billy, why don't you tell everybody what your idea is here tonight? My idea is we want firelight, we want tables, we want ladders. I got a guy right from here in West Virginia who is no reason for firelight, ladders, tables.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the third member of our Green Division, the Necro Butcher!
Oh, yeah. The odds have now been even.
It's not even fair.
The face of hardcore wrestling, the most dangerous athlete in the world today, a man who's been all over the world in death matches in Japan, throughout the United States. Thumbtacks, barbed wire, fire, blood, glass, tables, ladders, chairs, staple guns. He was featured in the Mickey Rourke movie, The Wrestler.
Yes, but he's never been in the ring with the Founding Fathers.
That's true. He's got the staple gun. Yeah, where's that power now, Flexer? You better get out of Dodge.
I just staple Flexer.
Staple his mouth shut. Well, good luck explaining the rules of a wrestling match to Necro Butcher, because I think he's forgotten them. He almost stapled Pedro. Now they're respectful. So now that it's 3-on-3, the Founding Fathers seem to be backpedaling a bit.
That's fair. It's a wrestling match.
All right. I'd say the Founding Fathers politicizing and manipulating got them into trouble a little too much, once too often.
The Founding Fathers trying to get security to get Necro.
Necro hadn't done anything wrong.
He got an illegal weapon in the ring.
Oh, he hadn't used it on anybody.
Yet.
Nor has the bell even sounded to start the match. But you know what you're getting into with Necro Butcher. It's a miracle at best just to keep him in the ring, let alone keep him away from these objects. And what about Mr. Cole? Well, we saw a couple of years ago, Necro Butcher one-on-one with Jimmy DeMarco.
What can you say about that? Was wow. I mean, those two fought all over the building and used every weapon they can get their hands on.
Without question, the wildest and most barbaric beating I have ever seen in person in my career. I'm still amazed DeMarco could walk the next day to tell about it, albeit barely.
I agree with you on that, Joe. Look at Necro. He's like hunting him down with that staple gun.
Chuck, not only mocking Dennis Gregory's Pittsburgh accent, but also, I guess, laying down the law to kind of even the odds here, because we do know Justin Idol and Marshall Gambino want their shot at the Founding Fathers. Idol and Gambino are two of the great athletes that have stepped up here in IWC in the past 3 or 4 years, that have seen their roster spots diminish greatly since the Founding Fathers came back and are pretty much hogging all the main event spotlight.
Well, Joe, they're in the main event for a reason. They were champions. I mean, Danny and Jimmy, they're champions now. Hentai, former Super Indie champion. They're main eventers for a reason.
Well, look at how Denny and Vegas gained those tag team championships, however. Wouldn't you argue, sir, Mr. Cole, that in that era, perhaps 2006-07 on into 2010, we saw Vegas, Bubba, Radford, Gregory all leave for one reason or another, but wouldn't you say we've seen upwards of a dozen different IWC stars step up and more than fill that void?
They may have stepped up and filled the void, but when the guys come back, they earned their spots back, Joe. They won titles to win and earn their spots back.
I don't believe they did earn their spots back. I believe they politicked with the guy that was in charge of the in-ring operation.
I disagree with you on that.
The hell's Dean Radford done to earn anything? He hadn't even wrestled in 6 months. Been walking around here on crutches.
He's hurt. Give him a...
Not my fault.
Jeez.
It's a full contact business.
He'll be back.
No. I'm not surprised.
I hear the surgery went well.
Well, I am happy to hear that. I'm happy the surgery went well, but you know, Hentai, this goes against everything Hentai has stood up for his whole career. The discipline of the Japanese style, the respect and the athleticism and camaraderie that went with the Super Indie division ever since day one when he won that Super Indie title and got hoisted up on the shoulders of his peers. Could you picture Hentai being beaten and hoisting somebody else on his shoulders now? Absolutely not.
I have no problem with what Hentai did, Joe. And he did it for the right reasons. And you can't argue with him. He is one of the founding fathers of IWC.
Did it for selfish reasons.
Hey, one day or another, you gotta go for yourself, not for the fans, not for anybody else, for yourself.
Well, there's a one count a moment ago. Idol will roll up for two. Idol and Hentai certainly have a rich history. Drop kick, nicely done. These two men were the finalists in Super Indie 8, the biggest Super Indie tournament we ever had.
That's right.
But my, how the times have changed. As Idol, it seems like Idol has to struggle just to get an opportunity on these events anywhere in the card. Tag into the baby bull, Marshall Gambino, and Chest Flexor touched on it at the top of this segment. Marshall Gambino is battling through a very severe head injury, a concussion that he suffered as a result of, well, Bubba the Bulldog. And that was when Marshall Gambino won that one-on-one matchup with Bubba the Bulldog. It wasn't much of a match, it was just a glorified mugging, again from the Founding Fathers, and Bubba just, huge lariat by Marshall, but Bubba sandwiched the head of Marshall the Bull in between two solid steel chairs. First time we've seen Marshall sit out spine buster by the 280-pounder, and Hentai, great ring awareness by the veteran, to his corner to tag in Jimmy Vegas, and Necro Butcher tagged in as well. Two big boys in the ring right now.
Oh, yeah. And Jimmy doesn't look like he's backing off because it's Necro either.
No. Well, you know Vegas is pretty full of himself as well. Vegas is still reliving his IWC title reign in his head.
Let's not forget, in Jimmy's past, he has done thumbtack matches. He has done weapons matches.
Oh, we've seen him go toe-to-toe with the likes of Raven, Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, absolutely. I will never doubt Vegas' ability or his toughness. But certainly he hides within the pack more often than not. And I'll give him credit. He and Dennis Gregory pinned what many say is the best tag team in the world today. Chris Hero, Claudio Castagnoli, the team that beat the Motor City Machine Guns, the team that beat Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. That's huge.
Yeah, but a team that also lost to Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin.
No, that's true.
Anybody can win on any night, Joe.
Sony doesn't hurt when you got the Office in your back pocket.
Sounds like you're a little jealous over that, Joe.
I don't think so. I have a great working relationship with Chuck Roberts. I'll say that.
And Jimmy's using his power just knocking Necro down.
Vegas got to be what, 260, 270?
Well, Necro's no small guy himself.
Not at all. Necro's another one of those guys that doesn't exactly have a lot of gym time, but he's tough.
Oh, he's tough, all right, yeah.
Necro Butcher may know no pain. All of his nerve endings may be numb after what he's been through. And Necro outsmarting Vegas. Deceptive brains by the Necro Butcher.
Brains and Necro Butcher in the same sentence.
I know. Usually they're splattered all over the ring, but now they're being put to good use in a tag back to Idol, who walked right into the Vegas right hand.
And tag out to Denny.
Look at all this tap out gear the Founding Fathers are wearing. Here's arm drags. I remember seeing Denny in Vegas in many MMA battles in my life.
Maybe they have MMA training.
Yeah, maybe.
Denny being in armed services.
Well, that's
he
very
may
true.
have some MMA background.
Never discredit Gregory's service to our country. But again, Vegas with a cheap shot on the outside allows Dennis Gregory to follow through. All the agility of Justin Idol, former multiple-time tag team champion. Right into the Hentai right hand, hardest right hand in his weight class. And that allows the father to take over once again.
Nicely done.
The most decorated IWC champion in history, 5-time holder of the IWC title. But you're not going to beat Justin Idol like that on any day.
And Joe, you talk about guys leaving. Every time Denny has left, he's been deployed overseas. And when he comes back, you're saying he doesn't deserve his spot?
I think he deserves a lot of respect. I think he deserves a lot of admiration. But I think also, too, you must look at the fact that so many men here in the home front earn that respect. That were through these cage matches, these tournaments, all of these huge high-end shows, super indie tournaments year after year, who took what Dennis Gregory built and took it to a new level. Dennis Gregory deserves the respect of this entire country. However, that does not help you in a competitive business. And what about Vegas? What about Radford? What about Bubba? They didn't go to serve our country overseas. They had other business obligations. They moved out of state. They abandoned these IWC fans for their own other business.
But they all came back, Joe.
Yeah, because they got sick of being out of the spotlight.
You got a pin.
Near fall situation. They got sick of not getting those IWC paychecks. They got sick of not having that big glory that surrounds being a wrestling superstar. Rather than work back up that ladder, they decided to start right back on top. I can't remember Vegas or Radford wrestling any of these younger athletes to work back up the ladder. They just beat the hell out of them.
Beat respect into him.
Well,
I see nothing wrong with it, Joe.
that's certainly another case for another time, perhaps, as Hentai, now clad once again in the dark, brooding black attire, connects with a back elbow to the chest cavity, and Marshall the Bull. And you gotta believe Marshall's very disappointed as well. And he and Hentai have not always seen eye to eye. Marshall has been the aggressor in some of the wars with Hentai in the past as well, and vice versa. But Hentai's been a mentor to many men in this locker room for a number of years, and now to see how he's changed colors is just so disheartening. Nobody can go to Hentai for advice anymore. Picking his brain on what to do, what not to do, what promoters to work for, not to work for. Not at all. It's all about Hentai now as far as Hentai is concerned.
Like I said, this is about time. Hentai is about himself, one person, himself.
Well, he didn't need to be about himself to be the most decorated Super Indie champion ever, the Super Indie Innovator, defend the title in Japan and Hawaii. beat AJ Styles, beat CM Punk, beat Colt Cabana.
Right now he's beating Justin Idol.
He absolutely is. He's done it before, he can do it again. With or without the fathers. Superplex here. Idol perched precariously on that top turnbuckle.
Big forearm shots and a headbutt.
Yeah. Idol knows he's in no man's land now. Has to battle his way free. He does so successfully. Could be all here. Senton! Can Idol get a cover or at least a tag? Well, we have a bit of downtime, Mr. Cole. I have to ask your opinion. The acquisition of a new IWC owner, Sterling James Keenan. What ran through your mind when the news broke?
Are you kidding me? Wow.
Who knows what the future could hold for IWC with a whole new regime and Chuck Roberts still close by as well. The dynamic in that war certainly changed. Tag to Gregory, tag to Necro Butcher, and now the pace changes, and now it could turn into Necro Butcher's rules. One fall officially, however.
Necro stacking him up in the corner.
Watch out for the big man. Necro gonna pancake the fathers if he can get Vegas off of that death grip on the top rope.
Necro went for the eyes.
And he went for some help. Necro Butcher is very unorthodox, but he's here in his home state.
Not a problem for the big man.
The baby bull gets ahead of steam. It charges into all three. The fathers collapse. And Necro taking out the trash, and it's Idol. I believe it's Necro and Gregory as the legal men. Don't know if the official's aware of that anymore. It's Marshall and Hentai.
I think the ref lost control here, Joe.
Necro and Vegas. Can Idol follow through from the top? Senton style, but nobody home. The 5-time champion goes downstairs. That resourcefulness comes into play again.
Vegas in the ring.
Oh, double team. Vegas should be going for that full Nelson slam. Double team!
He hit Vegas.
Miscommunication by the fathers.
Necro in.
And that's not all.
Come on, ref.
Necro with some help.
Oh, come on.
Chair to the head. Official didn't see it. Trying to restore order on the outside. Necro picked his spot. By God, he does know the rules.
Marshall going to the top here.
The Bull gonna fly with a splash. Near 300 pounds.
What an injustice here.
He wasn't a legal man, but who cares anymore? They got it.
They used the chair. It wasn't a legal man. They cheated. Come on. Talk about respect.
Nothing worse than what we've seen the Founding Fathers do time and time again.
Come on.
In recent months.
You justify that win, Joe.
I absolutely do.
Get out of here.
If the roles were reversed, if it wasn't for Chuck Roberts and Billy Johnson, the local promoter, coming out here, you don't think Chest Flexor would have stacked the deck?
I don't see stacking the deck. It was built as a handicap match. Necro had no business in that match.
That's stacking the deck to begin with. $1 billion man. He can't even spell $1 billion man. But what a scene we have here. Necro Butcher in front of his home state crowd with two guys who have been very, very underappreciated here in IWC the past 6 months. Idol and Marshall the Bull get the win. Founding Fathers, they're going to go back to Bubba the Bulldog with some very bad news. Cade Fury, however, as the Founding Fathers versus Flippin' Ain't Easy and Ray Rowe. It's Shiima and Hentai one-on-one. The balance of power up for grabs again. IWC's next DVD event. We are here for the second half of IWC Mountain State Madness. Joe Dombrowski joined by someone who seems to pop up whenever these women's attractions pop up. He is addicted to love, Rhett Titus.
That's right. Thanks for having me here, Joe. And there's not a better time than the night where I can come out here and make my presence felt.
One half, the All Night Express, of course, in Ring of Honor with the pretty boy Pitbull Kenny King tonight.
That's my dog.
Rhett Titus. No dogs here tonight with you because you have to face the hometown hero a little later tonight.
A big, big, big homecoming for Shiima Xion here in his hometown. The only man who's come to show up tonight to fight is addicted to love Rhett Titus, and Shiima Zion's going to find that out really quick once he gets in that ring, brother. Who's this? We got Sera Feeny in the ring, and Veda Scott. Whoa, whoa.
Right. You're so excited, you're talking over the ring announcer, you're all verklempt.
I'm sorry, brother. She's wearing glasses. I like a chick in glasses. Reminds me of a librarian.
Kind of a hot nerd type of deal.
Yeah, I'm kind of digging that. I was never a nerd myself. You would know more about being a nerd than me.
No, I don't think you're too particular, though.
That's the truth, brother. That's the truth.
Could one of these girls perhaps get the vaunted hotel room key by the end of the night?
That's a high possibility. Let's see how good they do in the ring, because if you can hang in the ring, you might be able to hang with me.
There you go. Veda Scott, a prodigy of Daisy Hayes,
That's
one of the best pound-for-pound female athletes, or any athletes really, in professional wrestling. We've seen her a number of times over the years in IWC. Of course, the manager and interpreter of the man from the Edge of Sanity, Delirious.
Big headlock takedown by Veda Scott. She's really applying that hold there. Sera Feeny trying to get back to a base on her feet.
Sera Feeny, a graduate of the Iron City Wrestling Academy here, the IWC's official school. We've seen her a number of times in live events over the past year or so. Two women who are very inexperienced in the ring, and we're seeing almost a proving ground of sorts for them both right now.
Big shoulder tackle there by Feeny.
Feeny seems to have a little bit more mass of the two, and I do not mean that in a bad way. But Veda comes back with a hip lock. She's spunky. Look at her. Arm drag follow through.
And a drop kick right to the stomach.
Yeah. Low drop kick, connected well, drove the wind right out of her. You can see Feeny already gaping, open mouth breaths.
That might affect her trying to have a baby one day.
Well, hopefully not during this match, as we're busy now with this matchup with Veda Scott.
A big clothesline followed by a bulldog.
Into a front chancery.
Oh.
Little Muda-esque offense there by Veda. Nicely done. You can see, obviously, she's hot, both these girls are, but she's not just show. Daisy Hayes has put her through the ropes.
Yeah. Coming from Daisy Hayes out of the ROH Shimmer Academy. You know, we're not going to find no patty cake playing prissy little chicks there.
No lingerie models, right? It's all about athleticism.
Exactly. But I would personally prefer some more lingerie models. So,
hey, nothing wrong with that on your
trying to get into wrestling, send me your tapes, ladies.
It's care of Rhett Titus at IWC Wrestling. Sera Feeny has Veda backed into the corner. Sends her for the ride. Elevates her. There's some of that power spine buster.
She just muscled her up and nailed her with the spine buster.
Nicely done. But there's a rookie mistake, not a follow through with a cover.
Yes. She's trying to seize the moment now with some stomps, but she should really be going for the cover, be going for the win.
Nice leg drop, however. Could that be it? Well, not a lot of body on body. Able to slip that left shoulder up.
We need more body on body for a finish.
for one of us to finish. Rhett Titus, how does it feel to be here in West Virginia? I'm not sure if you've frequented this area before, but how do you make of it?
Well, you know, it's the same thing as you would see in any other town in West Virginia. Toothless hick. Pretty girl with no teeth, toothless hick.
Not going to explore that line of questioning any further. Crucifix pin by Veda. Could be a
Oh, big clothesline. Big clothesline from Sera Feeny.
Again, that power coming through. I think
there's the inexperience again. Not going for the cover, not trying to finish this match. The whole goal of the match is to finish the match, and she's not doing that.
Exactly. I think she's more awestruck here, competing against someone with the credentials of Veda Scott.
Or perhaps awestruck that she is wrestling in front of Rhett Titus in a wonderful fisherman suplex here.
Not sure if she had the fingers locked there. Couldn't tell from this vantage point, but very well done. Great technique. So you think these women, even though they're busy competing right now, they are secretly enamored by you all the way over here at the table?
Of course. They're like, oh my gosh, Rhett Titus is right over there. I gotta look good. I gotta look great. Maybe, you know, I'll get his hotel key. And a drop toe hold into the turnbuckle.
Nice change of pace there by Veda Scott.
Oh.
Well, one would question, Mr. Titus, if you have any energy to do anything in your hotel room after Shiima Xion later tonight.
I got all the isotopes in me to take on Zima Ion, alright?
Swinging neck breaker, and certainly by any name, Shiima Xion is a very, very dangerous competitor.
Not gonna take anything away from his athletic ability, but he's messing with the wrong one here tonight.
He's quite the ladies' man himself. Supermodel, Filipino. Doesn't have a bow tie though.
That's a sure point.
Feeny up underneath, backslide attempt.
Oh
no,
boy.
elevates her.
Could this be it? She's got her in a stretch here. And she's
Gory Guerrero special style.
Venis cut, lands onto her feet.
Yeah, Scott was able to wriggle free.
Got her with the knee.
Tornado DDT, nicely done. Into a front guillotine choke.
Oh.
She calls that the deep thought. That's a front guillotine choke, and that's gonna turn the lights out quick now that she's got the body scissors as well.
Yeah, that's.
Seraphine may have to tap out or pass out, and she's made it. That's here.
She's happy.
Big win for Veda Scott in her IWC debut.
Wow, look at that. She with a guillotine choke. I didn't know she had it in her. That feisty little chick with a guillotine choke.
One of those Daisy Hayes tricks. When you're undersized, you gotta pull out moves like that.
She, you know, and that's something she can pull off against women or men. You know, it doesn't matter if you get hit with that guillotine choke. It just may be good enough to put either sex away for the night.
Now, what are your thoughts on Veda Scott now after watching this victory?
You know, that spunky little nerd just, she just rises from a 6 to a 7 in my book.
God, I hope you're grading on a scale. Rhett, Titus, we thank you for joining us, and we hope that if you congratulate any of these women, you do so respectfully and from a 100-foot distance. And best of luck tonight against Shiima Xion.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me, brother. It's been always a pleasure.
That was Rhett, Titus. I think I'm still Joe Dombrowski, and action will continue in just a moment. Joe Dombrowski back here once again with Ken Cole as the revolving door of the night continues here in Mountain State Madness. We're taking a look at two wrestlers who base their career out of the state of Texas. Something we don't see that often here in the Pittsburgh, West Virginia, Ohio area. So we're looking at the mind of wrestling, JT LaMotta. I always hated that last name, by the way. And Dirty Andy Dalton, set for tag team competition. I'll be honest, I've never seen these guys before. I'm sure you haven't either. It's gonna be a crapshoot here, but these guys come, well recommended, and they've traveled a long way to make an impression.
I'd say a long way. Okay, Joe, tell me who's who here, because I'm not familiar with these guys at all.
It's JT LaMotta standing center of the ring. Dirty Andy Dalton on the second rope a moment ago. These men were former rivals for a number of years back in Texas, but decided to pull their own individual strengths together and go at it as a tag team.
Well, they got a big challenge tonight.
A couple of gentlemen who reigned as IWC Tag Team Champions for almost a year before being unseated by Founding Fathers member Gregory and Vegas. We're looking at the heavy metal high flyer Jason Gory and the Neon Ninja, the aerosol assassin Michael Facade. Flippin' ain't easy, and when they first got together, Ken, we looked at this as kind of an odd couple, but man, have they gelled ever since.
Sure, it's like they've known each other for years, Joe. I mean, they sort of were like JT LaMotta and Andy
Dalton, yeah.
Andy Dalton. Not friends at first, but now they gel together. And they're looking to get back on the winning track tonight.
Absolutely. It's amazing how being misunderstood for a couple years can really turn into a silver lining in that crowd in this tag team. But we did see Facade and Gory both compete in Super Indy numero 10. We saw Facade advance to the second round, I do believe.
Yeah.
Jason Gory, a game valiant effort in the first round.
These boys from Texas, they're not small.
Not in the least, no. They've got a lot of mass on them. With that comes power. What about Michael Facade's performance, though, against former IWC champion, the Cuban cripple Ricky Reyes?
That was a good performance. I mean,
I'll tell you what, you look at the heart, the intestinal fortitude Facade showed that matchup. That's something that 2 or 3 years ago,
Former champs had their backs turned.
2 or 3 years ago, you wouldn't expect Michael Facade to hang toe-to-toe with Ricky Reyes, but he certainly proved those critics wrong a few weeks ago. I believe it was Gory, if memory serves correctly, that met up with Adam Cole.
Very good friend of mine.
Is he now? Are you related?
Cousins.
I see.
Can't you see the family resemblance?
Oh, it's glowing all over the two of you, I'll tell you that. You both with that $1 million smile.
That's what makes the money for us.
There you go. Adam Cole, he's certainly a very talented young man. Hope to see him back in IWC a lot in the near future. But right now, it's about here and the now and the present and tag team warfare.
Facade is not backing down from Andy.
Dirty Andy Dalton, his nickname speaks for itself as we see the agility by Facade come into play. And everything may be bigger back down in Texas, but I don't think it's quicker. Andy Dalton is dirty in every sense of the word. He'll cheat, he'll pull hair, he'll rule break. He doesn't give a darn. He's just an old, bad you-know-what from South Texas. Facade will go behind. Sorry to cut you off.
Gory would forearm on him from the outside.
And there you see that tag team cohesion. In one fell swoop, the tag is made, the splash in the ring, 2-0.
Former champs are out to impress tonight. Another quick tag.
That tag team synergy could be what wins or loses this matchup. Facade goes springboard with the crossbody. This could be all. Cover, 2-1. No, near fall situation. Facade controlling Dalton with a chancery. Be interesting to see if Dalton and LaMotta show any of that prior animosity in their prior life. We've seen, we touched upon Dalton, we've touched upon LaMotta as well. He calls himself the mind of wrestling. He's more of a thinking man's wrestler, more well-rounded. A man who will bring the aggression, but will also be very innovative and very technically sound.
Oh, he's trying to get a cheap shot on Facade there, but it didn't work.
Well, after you've been through the founding fathers, certainly you're prepared for anything. Jeez! Both men fall off the ring apron. Not a lot of room there as it is. And
I think Facade got the worst end of that one.
Well, if he didn't then, he sure did now. Just got dropped front first on that ring frame, and that is where metal meets wood. The's no give. That's the hardest part of the ring. Anybody that's ever wrestled has told me that.
And it gave Dalton enough time to recover, catch his breath, and take over the match.
Absolutely.
Oh, big DDT.
Elevated style. Facade planted directly on top of his head, and springboard in by LaMotta with a senton. And we're seeing some beautiful double teaming.
Well, they're working cohesively now, Joe.
By our Texas-born tag team.
Running forearm there.
2-1 now. Facade and Gory are looking for a big win here tonight because they want momentum. Headed into Cage Fury 2011, our next major DVD release from Tony F, DHvideos.com, and IWC Home Video. They're going to be in a War Game style cage match. They're going to be joined by the likes of Ray Rowe, the baddest man in IWC, to take on 3 members of the Founding Fathers. Facade and Gory, in my estimation, epitomize the pain and the degradation that Bubba the Bulldog has caused in this company. Facade and Gory are not in the limelight, and it's directly because the Founding Fathers think the young guys can't hang. Facade and Gory have a chance, mind you, to prove them wrong at Cage Fury. What's your take on that?
I don't think they can't hang. I don't think the young guys are not respecting them.
Would you say the Founding Fathers have done enough to earn respect since they've come back?
I respect them.
Well, maybe so. Notice Facade is trapped in between the ropes. There's nowhere for him to go. His body absorbs all the impact of LaMotta.
A little bit of a strut, and then he stands on him, Joe. A win for the Texas boys. You gotta think they'll get another booking over the former tag champs, right?
I would think.
They'd get another look at.
I would say they'd be in line for an IWC tag team title opportunity.
Yeah.
But easier said than done. Only one team has beaten Flippin Ain't Easy in the past year plus, and that's the most dominant faction in perhaps IWC history, Founding Fathers. Springboard crossbody.
But the momentum took Dalton over on top. Oh,
absolutely did.
Big knee.
Facade's force there may have worked against him in that exchange, but Gory able to make the save.
That may have been a 3 count if Gory wouldn't have been there.
Now, who do you think a cage match environment favors when you get into war games? Of course, Facade and Gory can use the cage as an offensive weapon, use it as an aerial weapon to bounce off of it, and of course climb and perhaps perform some amazing aerial feats. But when you get the power of Vegas and Gregory, the intensity of Hentai, it's a confined surface, who's got the edge?
I gotta give it to the fathers. They've probably been in more cage matches than Gory and Facade. They have the experience.
Twisting sit-out suplex, almost a falcon arrow type by LaMotta. I do believe, and I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe Dennis Gregory has been in every single War Games matchup in IWC history.
There you go.
That's a huge advantage. I think a Dalton to the eyes. No frills, nothing fancy. Dalton just wants to beat you up.
Can't see, can't wrestle, Joe.
Absolutely. Now switching with that bear hug. Got this on tight enough. You can start the breathing of Facade. If Dalton can get this up a couple inches higher, more around the rib cage of Facade than the waistline, it could be lights out.
And you see Gory trying to get the crowd behind him, try to get Facade some momentum. And it looks like it'd be working.
The way these fans have adopted Flippin' Ain't Easy and continue to do so in droves, just nothing short of remarkable. Facade with the martial arts style, but check out Dalton come back in kind. I'm not sure what that was. Springboard into Gory, right to the external occipital protuberance. Dalton is down.
Now it's a race to see who can get the tag first, Joe.
Be a big turning point coming up. Gory is the freshest man in this matchup. He is inching to get the, or rather he is begging to get the exchange that Facade has to be inching for, but quickly, because Dalton is starting to stir as well. Facade going to a neutral corner. He's not sure where he is. That kick to the back of the head did a lot to daze, but the action continues. Facade got it. Gory's in. And one for LaMotta as well.
Gory's on fire in there.
Twisting jawbreaker and a boot to the temple. Pound for pound, Ken, the quickest man in IWC, Jason Gory, almost got him.
LaMotta able to break it up though. Pulls Dalton to the outside.
They might be ready to head back to Texas. Could be road trip time early. Flippin' Ain't Easy don't want to win like that. Gory is waiting for them. They have no idea what's coming. Now they got an idea. Jason Gory not gonna let somebody come into his own home promotion, his own backyard, and hightail it. Facade sends them both into the West Virginia faithful.
Place I wouldn't want to be.
There's nothing wrong with these people here.
You ain't got a full set of teeth among the whole crowd, Joe.
You'd be nice. I'd like to thank the hospitality of everybody here in Newell, West Virginia, local promoter Billy Johnson, and here's a thank you from Jason Gory. Up to the top, seamlessly, and down with a somersault senton to the outside.
They took out everybody.
And check out the respect from these Newell fans. They've never seen anything like Jason Gory or Flippin' Ain't Easy.
They don't see much down here.
And this matchup has gone personal quickly. And
they're in the crowd, Joe.
That is a great assessment. That's about all we can tell you right now. Tony F. at Digital Horizons doing his best to zoom you in on the action right now, but we're all the way over here at the tech area. There's people running like crazy. There's kids fleeing for their lives. It's crazy madhouse here.
Why don't you go check it out, Joe?
Look at Facade! Off comes the gi! Facade's up in the lights! Moonsault! What's got to be an at least 10-foot drop? At least 15 when you factor in the height Facade got. And I'm not sure who he landed on, but you got to believe it was pretty much everybody.
Or did he land on nobody?
I hope not. Well, we didn't hear the thud, so that's a good thing for him. But listen to this respect from these fans. Loving the high risk taken by both Jason Gory and Michael the Bomber Facade. And miraculously, Facade back to his feet, dragging these Texas natives all the way back to the ring area.
Yeah, the Texas boys are looking worse for wear here.
To say the least.
Gory would have been.
This gotta be it. No! I'll give credit there to survive what Michael Facade's been able to pull out, not to mention Jason Gory. Where the ride goes Gory. LaMotta and Dalton have their wits about them again. Can they go back to the double team? You gotta keep in mind, as much as Facade's and Gory's wrists took out of their opponents. Oh, check out the neck strength. You wouldn't know it from the bomber, but he has one of the toughest, strongest necks in this entire organization because he does those neck bridging exercises for hours every day.
Look at this double team, Joe.
And a follow through. An accidental DDT, if you can believe it. Double pin.
2 count.
What?
Now you gotta give the Texas boys credit for kicking out on that one.
I give them all the props in the world for that. Most people, when they encounter Flippin' and easy offense, they don't know what way they're coming from. They don't know how to react. They're befuddled and flummoxed before they get anywhere, but these guys, they scouted their competition. But you gotta remember, Gory and Facade won't be able to battle all the way over the entire building inside a steel cage at Cage Fury. The Founding Fathers, as you said, Ken, I may agree, have the advantage.
Cutbuster by LaMotta. Senton by Dalton, wow.
And Gory sandwiched in between both his adversaries. Facade walks the rope for the stomp. Beautiful breakup.
What a match, Joe.
You ain't kidding. But this is the staple of Facade and Gory, and this is why Facade and Gory, they should be in some of these main events. They should be competing for some of these championships. It shouldn't be hogged by the Founding Fathers. This, my friend, is IWC present day in a nutshell. And a moonsault to follow through.
I thought that was it, Joe.
Did they get it?
Oh, disrespect.
That's a mistake. Look down. Look up. Double Enziguri. Good night. And now it could be time
for the buddy salt.
There you go. The trademark. Buddy moonsault coming up. With precision. Got it.
And the former champs get back to the winning ways, Joe.
Well, it seems what happened here is Facade had the pin a moment ago, but Gory's moonsault to add the assist, that was contact on the fall. That broke up the lateral press. However, a brilliant recovery by Flippin' Ain't Easy to take Dalton down, and the buddy moonsault, both at the same time, was able to finish the job. Are these guys ready for the Founding Fathers? Are they ready to avenge that tag team title loss or what?
We'll have to wait and see.
Cage Fury 2011, it's coming your way live on August 20th. It's coming your way on IWC DVD within a matter of weeks. Flippin' Ain't Easy. Can they win one for the next generation of IWC? We will find out in short order. As we mentioned earlier, former Intercontinental Champion, European Champion, and Tag Team Champion. But when we got here today, we thought the odds would be even with the legendary Big Bully Busick as the assigned referee. He was promptly fired by Chest Flexor under direction from Bubba the Bulldog. And as a result, now Chest Flexor is the referee. You gotta love Venis, but he is not coming in at even odds. The deck is stacked against the Big Balboski, gentlemen. Hey, Justin Plummer's back.
Joe, I leave for a couple matches, and you bring in Ken Cole?
Chest Flexor brought him in, actually.
That's all right. He's so huggable to me sometimes.
Oh, isn't that
Don't
cute?
touch me.
Oh.
Don't touch me.
I can't help it.
Well, not many hugs for the next man that's about to come through the curtain, that's for sure. What kind of a ridiculous wrestling referee shirt is that?
That's custom gear.
Conspicuous by its absence since Ballet's pop time.
John McChesney, the IWC champion, as a result, the cornerstone of the Founding Fathers. Where the IWC title goes, so too does influence, power, and control. And as long as Bubba has the champion in his fold, he calls a lot more shots than he would without it. Val Venis, the latest obstacle, coming from Chuck Roberts and Sterling James Keenan to try to wrestle the championship away and swift that balance of power once again. But with chest flexor as the referee, gentlemen, what are Val Venis' odds, and how cocky must John McChesney be right now?
Well, you know, Chess told me he's gonna call it right down the middle, Joe.
You believe that?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Well, he's certainly dressed like he's taking it seriously and gonna call it right down.
He's dressed like he went to buy a referee shirt and ran out of money before all the stripes got put on. Give me a break. $1 billion man.
That's tailor-made. When you got money like him, you can get stuff tailor-made, Joe.
Please. And he apparently cloned a sheep with a human and called it a girlfriend. I'm not really sure what that is on the outside.
Wow, that's not right.
Does she have a manager's license?
I guess she's at ringside, isn't she?
You know who she is? Is she on the staff list? Did she pass security again?
You're supposed to know everything.
I can't be
Justin,
everywhere.
you were in the back.
I was in the back, and I've seen her around, and I guess with Flexor in charge, he can bring in whoever he pleases.
I have no problem with that.
Or whatever he
He
pleases.
brought me in.
You ever see his bank book? You ever see if that $1 billion is really there?
I get paid, that's all that matters.
Okay. I'd cash that check early. Certainly no one gets paid quite like the IWC champion, however. Big League himself, John McChesney, a man who's faced some of the most elite athletes that have been in and out of IWC over the years.
And here's your right down the middle. Val Venis being checked over once, twice, 3 times potentially, and it doesn't even look like McChesney's going to be checked for any illegal weapons.
I don't think Val is going to bring any illegal objects into this matchup, although it wouldn't be a bad idea.
See, he checked him.
He's observing him.
He checked him.
Checking him out, maybe. Let's see that right, that Flexor has one long, curvy line down the sleeve of his shirt as a stripe. What's the matter with this guy?
This 2011, I guess it's the new style?
Is it? He's not exactly America's Next Top Model, I'll tell you that.
Man, you two will be lucky if you have jobs after this. He's the boss.
Don't you realize chest flexor is being used by Bubba the Bulldog? Bubba didn't want to come up here because he doesn't want to...
Who wants to come to West Virginia?
Bubba didn't want to show his face after his plan blew up and he's not in charge, and Sterling James Keenan is. If I was Bubba, I wouldn't want to cross Sterling. I'd watch what you say, too. There's no 100% ownership anywhere in this company.
I know that.
Yeah, Joe, we talked about that earlier. You just never really know what to expect, who to trust, who's going to be on what side as the months go by. You really are just full of stress at all times because you just do not know what to do.
Well, if Val Venis wins the IWC title here tonight, we'll have a pretty good idea. With Sterling James Keenan showing up, with Val Venis capturing the IWC title, with Hentai losing the Super Indy title, Founding Fathers are going to have to regroup, and big time, waiting for Cage Fury just a few weeks away. That could be, it could be, conceivably, the nail in the coffin of one of these two regimes.
Saw Val go for a single leg a couple times. McChesney fight it off and head outside to regroup.
Val attempting a single leg takedown on McChesney. We've noticed Val employ a little bit more of a mixed martial arts style to his in-ring exploits. No longer is he resting on his laurels of his prior occupation. He is instead evolving with the times, as any good athlete would. And we've seen him improve his ground game a lot. We saw that firsthand at Night of Legends when he defeated Addicted to Love Rhett Titus. Are we going to get a clean break? Chest flexors wanted to talk about hair. The phantom hair pull.
And here goes the debate.
If Chest saw it and he pulled his hair, I mean, I'm under questioning.
I wouldn't trust Chest to buy me lunch, let alone referee a title match. Taya. McChesney has to stay out of the grasp of Venis. Val's probably a solid 30 or so pounds heavier than McChesney, and it's all muscle. McChesney's made his living off of speed and agility. Who could forget him leaping off the top of a steel cage some years ago? His wars with Low Key. Of course, his wars with Jimmy DeMarco all last year. And Val is getting a bit frustrated, justifiably so.
Well, McChesney claiming a hair pull and a headlock takedown.
Val does not need to pull the hair. He's got the strength and the leverage. Oh, and Flexor found when he found a lock of hair as evidence.
It actually looks like it might.
Hey, it's Chuck.
For a man that doesn't have anything to do with the company, sure out here enough.
Now, excuse me for a moment. I know you're trying to have a match here tonight. Look, Chest Flexor, you said that you were in charge here tonight. You're supposed to be a model manager for everyone in this building. But I'm the back talking to you guys. And while you're doing such a great job as a referee, it sounds like you were listening to the rules in the back. No, if I'm not mistaken, Pedro, didn't you say, since this is a benefit for the fire department, if anyone was caught smoking inside this building, that they caught you smoking in a locker room.
Not smoking in the boys' room.
Well, I can smell it from here. You smell like a cheap housing bar. You smell like your girl. I realize it's my word against yours. Where's the referee? Get your referee out here. Get your referee. I realize, well, guess what? There's gonna be smoking gun. Referee, check in for cigarettes. Check for cigarettes right now.
Check it for cigarettes.
This is a first.
Gentlemen,
Rules are rules.
Well, they aren't cigarettes.
You can't smoke it. I don't know if this is something I'd want to be doing. You never know what you're going to find.
We got some cigarettes. This is a school zone, so. Whoa, whoa!
This isn't right.
Just serious. Flexor is headed out of the building.
That's no way to treat the man in charge.
Does that mean the girls got to go too?
The boss's power has been extinguished, and we're down to one-on-one for the IWC title.
And Joe Ken, there are no founding fathers out here. This is probably one of the first times in quite some time we've seen that. We might actually have a fair fight right now.
Oh, wait a second. Val attempting to use the closed fist. Quick call by the referee. Val goes with a palm strike. Completely legal.
No argument there?
Oh, look at you backpedaling. Now your boss is gone.
I'm backpedaling. I'm not arguing.
All right, well, your meal tickets. Good luck getting that check now, by the way.
You might still be able to catch him if you head out.
Yeah.
You trying to get rid of me?
Of course not. I still owe you one more hug.
Jeez.
I'm not going to endeavor into that relationship, but Venis continuing to use the open hand, completely legal in professional wrestling, to take down Big League John McChesney. And now it looks like Big League going to get a tour of the IWC ring. Could be a cover. Could do it. No, only count of one. McChesney, he knows he's off his game now. He does not want to get caught in any type of fluke type situation. And gentlemen, you hit the nail on the head a few moments ago. No founding fathers in sight. A deviation from their normal strategy. They travel in packs for a reason. Cover up the suplex to window.
It's early in the match yet. I'm sure the founding fathers aren't far away.
That's what scares me. Reverse knife edge by Venis. What do you do, gentlemen, to beat Val Venis? Somebody who's so focused, has such a great attitude, a mindset, so powerful. We heard him run through his demandments earlier in the show. What do you do to break this guy's will and break this guy physically?
Well, you're not going to do it by laying on your face, holding your back in the middle of it, that's for sure.
That's why you're the best color guy in the business, Plumber.
I call it like I see it, Joe. And right now, I'm not so sure Big League's going to be able to come back from this.
And again, what happens to that balance of power here in IWC? If Val Venis becomes IWC champion, it can happen. We've seen champions capture titles that we wouldn't expect. We've seen Balls Mahoney capture the IWC title.
You have to bring up that?
We've seen the Sandman capture the IWC title. We've seen the legendary Midnight Express capture the tag team titles. Hex Legend Duggan's a former tag team champion. Just because they are not regular parts on this roster doesn't mean they can't come out of this with gold. Val could rewrite IWC history and this entire territorial war. McChesney sent for the ride, so much velocity that Big League bounces off of the turnbuckles and hits hard on the canvas.
He's still focusing on that back, and you can see the welts, and now stretching the spine.
Yeah, that'll put pressure on your knees as well as the back. Twisting at two different parts of the body at the same time, and you can see the torque on the lower back of McChesney. The further back that bends, and the further back Val Venis can sit back with the maneuver, the more pain and pressure is applied to John McChesney.
Yeah, but you see McChesney doing the push-ups and crawling towards ropes. That's taking the pressure away there a little bit.
It absolutely is. If Val Venis could sit all the way back, the hold would be cinched on in full. If there was no distance between Val's body and McChesney's, McChesney would be a goner. But a great job by McChesney, as you mentioned, brilliant point to bridge up and get to the ropes. Val went for a back body drop, but braced himself too soon and got caught with a DDT. And that's the opening McChesney. McChesney only needed one, and you can see relentlessly now pressuring and punishing Val Venis.
McChesney's not all talk, and a lot of people think he's just a mouth. A lot of people think he's just here to irritate the fans and get at them. This is a smart man. Val lowered his head for a split second, and we just saw a complete turnaround in this matchup.
McChesney's captured the Super Indy title more times than anybody in history. Certainly well on his way to potentially being the longest reigning IWC champion.
Joe, I've seen McChesney since he was 18 years old. This is the best he's ever looked since he's captured the title here.
He's got that confidence, and he's got that track record. The man that retired, arguably the most popular IWC champion of all time, Delicious Jimmy DeMarco. The man who ended the Cleveland chapter of Ray Rowe's professional wrestling career was what ultimately led to Ray Rowe relocating down to Texas and leaving this area of professional wrestling. His track record speaks for itself. But with Ray Rowe back and, well, Jimmy DeMarco, you never can tell. He's banned from the building legally thanks to Bubba the Bulldog's court injunction, but that hasn't stopped him a lot in the past. I have a feeling we may not have seen the last of Jimmy DeMarco, but time will tell. Missing the corner with a splash.
Big ball line by Val.
And Val mounts the offensive. Val.
McChesney blocking the suplex, not having his leg hooked around Val's.
Val went for the half and half. Father Nelson here in the Pittsburgh area. Spine buster by Venis, however. able to capitalize.
Almost a new champion there.
I noticed these smart covers by Val. He's putting all of McChesney's body weight over McChesney's own shoulders. It takes that much more to kick out, that much more energy exerted. Very smart move by the veteran. Roll through with an inside cradle could have him, no. Very intelligently wrestled Matt. Wait a second.
She's back.
Wait, there's chest.
This harlot's back. And then the male harlot, chest flexor, sneaking back in on all fours where he belongs.
Is that a sheep?
What? Side Russian leg sweep.
Referee Drew paying attention to the girl on the outside.
Fans are terrified here.
Flexor is called around.
And now she got Val's attention.
Yeah, she's creating the diversion. And Flexor, hopefully you can see him in the screen now. Those look like brass knucks.
Those look like pure gold knuckles from chest flexor.
Whatever they are, it's a knockout blow if Val gets caught. McChesney, so proud of himself. But a duck. He got the half Nelson that time, did Val.
Maybe going for the money shot.
There it is, he's going up.
And the official, and this woman, well, now she gets down. Does she even realize what happened? Does Chest realize what happened? Money shot. What is this?
Whoa.
I think the ref saying Val had the nuts.
What? He just spotted the nuts.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
Wait.
Let's get the official word, because I don't know here.
I hope this isn't what it seems like. Damn.
McChesney's just realizing that he won the match. He's waking up with the title in his arms.
That just goes to show you, Val, you can't cheat and win a title in IWC.
The official was still diverted by that floozy over there when Val used the half and half suplex to take McChesney down. The official didn't realize. The knucks went flying. The referee thought that Val used the... And look, McChesney now just realizing he won. And now, some dues are going to be paid. Justice going to be served. Father Nelson time for Flexor.
You can't call it a night until Flexor gets his butt whooped.
I think Flexor's going to see the money shot in a second.
Venis with the money shot on chest flexor. And he's adding insult to injury, but it's not going to be enough to get him that IWC World Heavyweight Championship.
That's all that matters, Justin, is that McChesney walks out with the title.
Well, through Bubba's manipulation, using chest flexor, once again the title saved, but Val Venis gets the last word over this flunky chest flexor. And Val Venis stands tall in Middle West Virginia. What in many people's mindset, a rightful IWC champion, even though McChesney and the Founding Fathers keep the gold and the power on a technicality. case you haven't guessed, that's Rhett Titus. The man who says the thrust is a must. He has thighs that hypnotize. Being joined now by Justin Plummer and Michael Epic of Concord University Radio. Some hometown flair here for this main event featuring a hometown resident. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes, it is, and I can't help but notice that you can just commentate through anything. I saw a kid fall down right in front of you earlier, and you just kept on going. It was beautiful.
Shiima Xion recently made his debut on TNA Impact Wrestling on Spike TV, where he competed in a series of matches to potentially earn a contract with the organization. Shiima wasn't successful in the finals, but made it to worldwide pay-per-view, where he was watched by countless thousands. And now a man known in a prior incarnation as Michael Paris comes back as Shiima Xion, a 2005 local high school graduate, and he's now a world-traveled bona fide superstar, competing all over the world, Japan, Mexico, Canada, as well as, of course, his history as a Filipino supermodel. And Mr. Epic, growing up around Shiima for quite a number of years, you should be a great ulterior mindset to bring to this call to action.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's something to be said about waking up every morning and having a great breakfast.
That's really serious. That's okay.
That's about all I have to say as far. You're not gonna have me do play-by-play.
No, I'm not.
I mean, I can't.
I was asking for your what is your history with Shiima Xion? What do you know about Shiima Xion as far as him growing up around here, being a resident of the area? He's always been a tough kid. He's always obviously wanted this so badly. How have you encountered Shiima in your time?
Well, he and I have been friends for a very long time, and I have to say, I don't think I ever had a doubt in my mind that he would reach the level that he's reached. I mean, I have to say, it is a little odd to see a good friend wrestling on TNA pay-per-view, but like I said, it didn't surprise me at all that he reached those heights.
How's it feel to see him wrestling just feet in front of you right now live?
Oh, it feels great. Actually, this is, it's sad to say, this is the first time I've ever seen him wrestle live in person.
Certainly a great homecoming for Shiima. This is the first time he's actually competed in his home area, and we just heard a moment ago for the live crowd, we are in negotiations, Justin, to come back at a future date, so hopefully Newell, West Virginia will become a regular stop in the IWC calendar.
Yeah, it appears as if the fans are enjoying it, and if the fans enjoy it, we want to come back, and that's exactly what's been going on here.
Rhett Titus, certainly no shortage of confidence, a man who wrestles in a bow tie and is famed and infamous for passing out a hotel room key of his to, well, a lucky, I guess you could say lucky, female fan at ringside during many of his matches. Rhett Titus currently taking a more serious approach to his career in Ring of Honor Wrestling, where he teams with the Pretty Boy Pitbull, Kenny King, to form the All Night Express, and they have really jumped up to major heights in that organization, facing the likes of the Briscoes, the Kings of Wrestling, Wrestling's greatest tag team, Haas and Benjamin, and a number of others. So Titus, even though he's obviously the away team, so to speak, in this matchup, he brings a lot of major credentials, and he himself is at a new high point in his career as well.
And all the credentials and all the accolades that you just mentioned, Joe, you left out. He sings his intro music better than any other wrestler in the business today.
I will give you, he sings his music better than anybody else sings his music. I'll give you that much. You ever sing like that, Mr. Epic?
All the time. I usually do it in the shower, though, and I'm actually usually wearing something kind of like what he's wearing right now.
Well, perhaps something more for the personal life, then. Colin Obotaya. Would you ever be caught dead in public dressed like Rhett Titus?
Maybe dead, if someone dressed me like that after I was dead.
Well, there you go. That says a lot about Rhett Titus' fashion sense. Shiima Xion has always called himself the future of fashion, though, the Filipino flex factory, and he's always had a very unorthodox, flamboyant approach, but it seems to have always worked for him, hasn't it?
It seems that way. I haven't seen him use the hairspray in a while. I was a big fan of the hairspray.
Beautiful textbook dropkick by Rhett Titus. Pinpoint precision on that agility, and certainly no time to primp and posture, no time for photo ops here with the hairspray. It's all business for Shiima Xion. Shiima and Rhett Titus are probably two of the best athletes you're going to find anywhere in their early 20s. They're both making a big mark in national and certainly international promotions as well. So this may be a matchup that 3 or 5 years from now a lot of insiders look back on as a coming of age for two great young athletes.
Most definitely. This is going to be a DVD that you want to purchase because down the road you will see these two men on national television. You will see them on pay-per-view.
Well, if they're listening to us now, they already purchased it. So, I mean, I guess you could say that they already made a really good decision.
Anyone listening to this right now has made an excellent decision.
Yes. It's bad if you go to like a second-hand store and try to sell it. You should keep it. That's what we're saying. Don't get rid of it. Don't give it to your friend. Don't, pawn it.
If you're watching your friend's DVD, go and buy your own.
No, you got to buy it at IWCWrestling.com, courtesy of Digital Horizons at DHVideos.com. There's a Manhattan drop, and certainly connects with a sensitive region. I think Rhett Titus missed out on a shot to congratulate Veda, Scott.
He's like, oh.
I think that grading scale of his has gone down, but be that as it may. I won't ask any of you for a comment about that. But Shiima Xion looking good. And certainly it's been such a transformation, Michael, over the past 6 or 7 years to see Shiima get himself into such great ring shape and put on probably easily 30, 40, 50 pounds of solid muscle over the years. Would you ever imagine to see him in this kind of shape?
Well, considering when I met him, he was probably 100 pounds soaking wet. I don't think I would have expected this. He's put on a lot of muscle. I think he learned a lot of his workouts from me, as you can tell.
Okay, we'll go with that one. Arm drag takeover. You taught him the cheat day. How about that one?
Yes, I did.
We'll go with that one. There we go.
It's all about having fun, right?
Well, we're having fun here in West Virginia. Shiima Xion's having fun, and fun with a lot of friends and family here, seeing him for the very first time. And Rhett Titus may be regretting signing on for this matchup, but straight boot right to the jaw. Second time, follow through again, right to the side of the face.
See, just as the fans were getting loud and backing Shiima, as the adrenaline started flowing, Rhett turned the tables, and it's a good thing that he did because he was in a downward spiral there for a minute.
Absolutely. Focusing right on what dive attempt coming up. Connects with a helo to the outside. That's high-risk situation, unprotected floor. If Shiima wasn't there, it would have been done for. And there you see some more swiveling between him and Venis and Bobby Beverly. We're seeing a lot of sexual conduct on this event here tonight.
Yes, we may have set a record for hip gyrations.
None of it very appealing, I might add.
I came for Shiima, but I stayed for the pelvic thrust, I'll be honest with you.
Well, hey, we got something for everybody here. All markets covered. Shiima driven face first into the edge of that ring frame. As you mentioned earlier, that's where metal meets wood. There's no give in that part of the ring. And Shiima's hurt. Favoring the arm. We already got hit in the jaw earlier. And Titus slowing this pace down, taking the hometown crowd out of this matchup. Cover 2-0. The crowd oftentimes in other sports, as is professional wrestling, can act as sort of unofficial sixth man out there for you. Give you that extra burst of adrenaline when you didn't think you had anything left. And this crowd trying to do that with Shiima as well, but Rhett doing his best to negate it.
And here they are backing him again now. You can never underestimate the support of your friends and family. This has been a huge week, a huge couple of weeks for Shiima Xion. Wrestling on pay-per-view, now coming here for the first time in front of his hometown with a huge advantage. But as you said, Joe, Rhett has been negating that now for a good 5 minutes.
And I understand that there's a cover to shortly following this matchup, Shiima Xion returns to Mexico.